everyone. Welcome to Force of Light Live. Glad to have you here. I'm retweet. I just realized I didn't retweet my earlier post from X, so let me do that. But hope you guys have had an awesome Monday. We are looking forward to a good show. We finally got some kind of fun things to talk about tonight.
We do. I'm so excited.
Yes, on top of having
for tonight.
On top here as my brain.
To quote J-Lo, excited for tonight. One of her biggest hits of the early 2000s.
Was that a big hit of J-Lo? I don't really remember it.
I used to know all the lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you are excited for tonight. We have a very special guest that we're going to bring out here in just a second. I see you guys in the chat. I want to go ahead and grab. You guys have already been generous here tonight. Let me go ahead and grab these. I see 1 gifted membership from KB.
Thank you, KB.
2 gifted membership from KB. 3 gifted memberships from KB. Let me make sure. So you guys know what time it is. Right off the start. We're starting the show right and hot.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
You members.
Oh,
you have that emoji.
Oh no.
Let Rooster roost. And one more. Thank you so much, KB. Really appreciate that. 3 gifties right off the bat. We got DL. Hello, sisters.
DL in the chat. Woo woo.
Hello, sisters of Force of Light Entertainment and chat. How is everyone? Doing pretty good. It's been a pretty good Monday.
Yeah, I can't complain.
It's a little humid. I will complain about that.
It is.
It's a little humid. But Natalie's hair's still big.
Well, it's because I showered before I came and did my hair, but it's a little extra fluffy right now.
Wow.
Apologies.
She did a midday shower for the stream. And
that's what I do for you all.
And Cajun Corey gifted another Force of Light Entertainment membership.
Oh my goodness, you guys are killing it already. Thank you so much.
That's 4. Rooster's
I think you all are as excited as I am for tonight.
Rooster's just getting warmed up. Thank you so much, Cajun Corey. Good to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
And Taylor Swift is overrated.
Oh my goodness.
And she feasts on felines. What?
See, he knew that would get me. He knew feasting on felines
would
get me in my feels, Michelle.
Look at the emoji. Look at the icon.
He's trying to bring me into the Taylor Swift age.
The icon has the cat in front of her face.
This was clever.
You know she's a cat lady.
She is a cat lover. I know this.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Ryan, yes, thank you so much. We're going to get Ryan out in a second. And Mumbling May with the $6.99. Thank you so much. Hello, friends. I actually think Natalie is ready to dance. Natalie, you ready to dance?
Oh, I think so.
Just saying.
I think I might be, Michelle.
Let's see if let's see what I got for that. Let's see if Natalie can get in the feels with this. She's doing her best. It was a little rough. Forgive her. And the dirty old one night.
Can I just say too, I literally have had my inbox set up with people reminding me that the Carlton dance is not that hard to learn and that I should have had this done by now.
So you better do it this weekend. Nice. This weekend, Natalie. You've even had someone work with you on the Carlton dance this weekend. It needs to happen.
It needs to be recorded in real time.
It needs to happen. And Brett, thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. Ryan needs to do some dancing with Natalie on screen. Let Rooster fly.
Whoop whoop.
A rooster's about to fly.
I don't know how Ryan's going to feel about that.
And Popsicle's been a member for 2 months. We're thinking about going to see Fall Guy tomorrow. Have y'all seen it? Any thoughts? We did see it, and we have a review of it, actually. Here's my take on Fall Guy. Is it a great movie?
Is it an instant classic?
No,
not necessarily.
It's not, but it is a fun popcorn flick. There's no agendas in it. It's just a fun time. It
is fun.
So I think it's a good time at the theater if you're looking just to sit back, relax, eat some popcorn.
Would you agree? It goes a little cheesy at times.
Definitely.
But like they lean into it in more of a fun way, I think.
Yes. As we said in our review, and go check out our review, it kind of has like a bit of a 90s feel to it. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a way I like.
Complimentary.
Yes. So I do recommend it. And Matthew, thank you so
Matthew,
much
thank you
for the gifted membership. Another gifty. You guys know what time it is.
You all are amazing.
It's time for Rooster
You're
Dance.
all doing
again.
amazing, sweetie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And Joe Biden has a small for $1.99.
Well,
good evening to the hottest.
Good evening to you too, good sir.
Good evening to the hottest sisters on YouTube. Well, good evening to
I don't know about that, but thank you.
We'll take it.
But we will take it.
And good gosh, Mr. Buttcrack.
Mr.
has gifted 20 Force of Light memberships. He outdone himself.
You have. You've truly outdone yourself. This is incredible.
Did he
thank you so much.
Did he just make us set a new record? That's like 26 already.
Well, we've definitely outdone 26.
Okay.
Last week.
What was our record last week?
Gosh, it's hard to remember. It was in like maybe the mid to high 30s.
Okay. Well, yeah. Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys are amazing.
And you know what time it is.
And another one. Why you all in my ear?
Thank you so much, Mr. Buttcrack.
Yes, oh my goodness.
The loveliest Buttcrack on YouTube. And Damajanai, we will be on Damajanai's channel. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat.
You.
Hello, beautiful ladies of Force of Light Sup Chat. We will be on with him tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So go check us out over on Damajanai's channel tomorrow at 8 p.m.
I have to say, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, we always have a good time at Damajanai. I can see Uranus for $4.99. Ladies, I think there was more gifties that came in earlier, but oh, really? Man, freaking StreamYard. You guys let me know who gifted.
You guys thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys let us know who gifted below. Whoever has gifted, it will show up on YouTube.
We want to give you credit. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for all of you guys. You guys have been awesome tonight. But we're going to get this started with our, let me read this really quick. Keely, thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. I hope the Chiefs don't have a Sunday night game in 2024 because Sunday nights belong to Carrie Underwood. Well, that is true. We'll have to see. We'll see if they're still together. Who knows? They may be never getting back together at that point. We don't know.
It's true. Only time will tell.
30 gifties is what Greg's got.
Ooh,
but
impressive.
It is impressive. But guys, without any further delay, we want to bring out our guest tonight.
Our guestie.
And that is Ryan.
What's up? I'm ready. We're ready to rock and roll. I got to see behind the scenes how the ladies get ready, how Natalie tries to get her hair ready. So it was awesome. It was awesome. But we're here. We're live. Ready to rock and roll.
You see what a process it is to get this shindig going.
It's true. And I saw people in the chat saying it took me to get you guys to start on time. So I don't know if that's true or not. Usually I'm late to my own streams, so I don't think it was me. But I also took a shower like right before the stream. I had to make sure my hair was okay, so I sympathize. I understand.
It looks great, Ryan.
It does.
Thank you. That's like 3 people that think my hair looks good today, so that's a win. Usually I just get comments about how awful it is, but that's pretty much how you get trolled on the internet. But yeah. Now, apparently, we're supposed to dance. Is that I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't come prepared.
It's Natalie.
They like when I dance for some reason.
And she promised our members the Carlton about a month ago. But it's yet to deliver.
I have to perfect this.
I can't imagine why the chat likes it when you dance, Natalie. I have no ideas why that might possibly be the case. But no, I need a couple drinks in me, and then I'm willing to dance. I'm willing to hop on the dance floor. I'll jump on stage. I'll grab a mic. I'll sing karaoke. I'll do anything.
I saw a bit about that.
We saw you get your rap on.
Yes.
In Vegas.
Yeah. And there was actually some videos that got put out from that night that I had to very kindly ask people to pull down from that they had posted of me dancing, actually. So I'm glad that those got taken down before too many people saw them. I think I safely got them erased from the internet.
So are you saying that your dancing skills are so good that
Right.
the internet wasn't ready for them?
They probably weren't, truthfully.
Yeah, like, listen, I get into it, okay? I'm not just gonna sit there and be like, okay, like a little bob back and forth. I'm gonna get into it. So, like for me, I was really into it. There were some other people that I was getting very close to. I'm like, can you please just take that down? They're like, yeah, sorry, I posted. I should have asked you. I'm like, yeah, you probably should have, but it's okay. But it's good. Those got erased from everybody. They got memory hold. They don't exist. I don't have a problem dancing. I just don't want it all over the internet, you know?
I understand.
People aren't calling for me to dance like they're calling for you guys to dance.
So I do
Well,
have
we might start something new. They might after tonight if you show them what you
So we do have to ask then, out of you, Jay, and Jeremy, who has the best dancing skills?
Right.
I've never seen them dance, so
That
I
probably
like.
gives you the answer.
It's probably you for sure.
I think it's probably me. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's my bet. I think it's me, but it's tough because I have, you know, Schrodinger's dance moves. I don't know if they're good or not because I've never seen them.
That probably gives you your answer though.
Yeah.
I don't think Jeremy's probably ever danced in his life.
He
Like,
hasn't.
I think it's time though.
Jeremy needs to come out of the dancing closet and dance.
It's liberating.
like the only thing I can imagine Jeremy's dance to is like Cotton Eye Joe or something like that. Maybe that's about it.
I could see that. I could see that. I don't see Gary dancing either.
Right. No,
I
don't
could
see
see I could see Jay knowing some form of like,
He knows the electric slide.
well, everybody knows that one. But like I think I could see him randomly knowing a little bit of like salsa or like something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm down with all the Latin dance moves and all that stuff. You get it playing, I'll start moving out there. I'll lead, no problems.
I like it.
Again, I need a couple drinks in me. That is the requirement. There's a barrier to entry for me dancing.
Yeah, that's kind of understandable. I'm not quite a dancer, I'd have to say. Let me grab this. Thank you so much. I don't like Dodgers, naggers. Oh, no, I don't like naggers. Sorry, I couldn't see.
I was a little uncomfortable at first glance.
I was too. My eyes did a double glance, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like,
do you guys know what that meme is from?
No.
It's from South Park, and it's crazy that they aired it, but it is, the clue is people who annoy you, and it's N blank GGERS, and he's like, well, I think I know it, but I don't know if I should say it. And he like, it's like really closing in on time, and then he just screams the N word, and then everybody kind of looks at him, and they slowly flip the letter, and it's an A, naggers, people who annoy you. Yeah.
Which character is it that screams?
I think it's Randy. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me grab these really quick, and then we will get started on what we're going to be talking about today. Let's see. You guys, thank you guys. You guys have been very generous already.
Yes.
Let me make
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you so
KB
much.
has gifted another Force of Light membership.
KB, thank you.
I want
Thank you.
to grab all these memberships, and then we'll let Rooster dance again.
I just want to brag on you guys too that I've never paid for one of my own memberships. Like I just consistently get gifted one each month, so it works out so well. Thank you for that.
And thank you, Matthew has gifted 5 Force of Light Entertainment memberships, and your average Patriot nerd.
Wow.
There's 11 more right there.
Wow.
Well, for your average Patriot nerd, you know what clip's coming. And then for everyone else, it's time for Rooster again.
You guys.
Rooster's getting warmed up.
And another one. Why you all in my ear?
Thank you so much for you guys. And thank you, Brett, for the $10 super chat. Ryan, how was the I bet he meant to say Turning Point USA event with Charlie Kirk?
It was cool. I think that was around the beginning of the year I went in Arizona. I did get invited to the one up in Detroit, and I don't think it's going to quite work without the schedule and stuff. But it's always cool to go to those things. So I appreciate the invite from them for sure.
Yeah, Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And DL, thank you so much for the 199 super. There we go, the 199 in the house. Yeah, I gave 5 gifties. Oh wow! So DL gave 5 gifties.
Thank you so much, man. You guys are on fire tonight.
You guys are blowing it up in the chat. Look at that.
I love it. Keep blowing it up. And Kenneth with the $50.
Oh my goodness.
Kenneth came in here like Raider and just mic dropped. Didn't even say anything.
You. That's a real MVP right there.
Kenneth, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. You guys have been, again, awesome tonight.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm glad you guys talked about Fall Guy a little earlier because I feel like that movie is not getting enough attention.
Yes.
I totally agree with your sentiments. It's not like, some groundbreaking thing. It is a very unserious movie, a little bit corny and cheesy at times. That's just supposed to be really fun and have a little bit of heart and romance and everything that a movie should be.
Yes.
To let us kind of escape from the reality we live in, on top of a bunch of cool action set pieces and things like that. And it's sad that it's probably, I don't know, maybe it'll have legs or whatever, but it's probably just not going to do a ton at the box office, which is really sad because I think Ryan Gosling kills it. He owns the role. And you're 100% right. There's no subliminal identity politics messaging. If anything, it's kind of an anti-Hollywood movie.
Yes.
Specifically, the villain is like she tries to convince the female director. The female producer tries to convince the female director to say, we need to get away from all these toxic men. Screw them, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I like my toxic man.
Yeah, no, I did specifically notice that line, and it's like that had to be obviously intentional for it to be written in and acted out. But it was like, good job, on little twists there that we're not used to. We like to see that sometimes.
Friend of the channel, Lorena Creole, said that character might have reminded her of one Kathleen Kennedy.
I think I said that on. I might have said it on FNT maybe. But yeah, it could be anybody like that. But certainly, I think we probably draw a lot of parallels to that.
Yes, yeah, it was definitely a fun movie, and I think that kind of
refreshing.
I think that kind of goes, Ryan, to kind of the state of where Hollywood is. I think Script Doctor had a pretty good tweet about kind of why Fall Guy probably didn't do as well. And I mean, it could be multiple things, maybe marketing and stuff, but I think some of it, I think he's right. The audiences have just become so used to getting such mediocrity or being preached to like so much that it's really going to take many movies like a Fall Guy to begin to kind of warm the audience back to them. Yeah.
And Fall Guy is a movie that I think a budget is around $125 million is what it was. So you're talking about who knows exactly what the advertising was, but you're talking about a movie that needs to make somewhere between $350 and $400 million at the box office to break even. Yeah. And, I just don't know if it's going to do it with that opening. I hope it does, because I think we need more movies like Fall Guy.
Yes.
Because that will get people out of that funk, especially if you can just go to the movie theater and have fun. Fall Guy is a movie that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe, those types of movies were coming out all the time. And it's why if it was Friday night, you and your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, you'd be like, we don't have anything. Let's just go to the mall and see a movie. And you'd see you'd walk up, you'd see what was playing. You're like, hey, let's go to this. And you'd walk in. That never happens anymore. Like people plan out going to the movies that they want to go to. They never just walk up and go to a random movie anymore, because people have realized that it's really a gamble to waste your time, money, energy, effort on something like that, when you could just, I don't know, stay at home and stream something or watch YouTube or listen to a podcast, whatever it may be. I think that's the biggest difference, is that people are just not reliant on Hollywood for randomly entertaining them like that anymore.
Definitely. And, something too, you brought up the budget. I feel like that movie should have been able to be made for under $100 million. Quite frankly.
The thing is, there are a lot of stunts in it, though.
There are.
A lot of them are practically shot and things like that. So I feel like that's difficult. I feel like it would be tough to make a movie like that on any less of a budget. I don't think they probably wasted like It sucks to say that like $125 million movie doesn't feel like it's super expensive, but when you have the Marvels at $300 million, Indiana Jones at $300 million, it almost feels like $125 million. It's like a conservative budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And it totally is. So I hope because her daughter saw it with us and she actually wants to see it again. So there you've got a 16-year-old girl who wants to go see this movie again. Yeah,
So it's kind of like, quite an age range with this one too, demographic wise.
Yeah, so I'm hoping kind of maybe like a Greatest Showman, it can get some good word of mouth and people actually go see it. Because like you said, the box office was pretty low for it, which is just, like you said, it's disappointing. And I even saw that they already had like a script for a second one and they wanted to make a series of these movies that I think Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt have already kind of agreed to do. So I do hope that it can find legs and at least make its money back at the very least.
I hope so too. And I think they have good chemistry on screen together. And Ryan Gosling, I heard him in an interview. He was talking about the roles that he wants to play going forward.
Yes.
And he says like he doesn't want to do like dark, gritty, like very emotionally draining roles or whatever. He's like, listen, I want my kids to see me doing fun stuff. That's why I did Ken. That's why I'm doing Fall Guy. Like, I just want to do kind of more lighthearted stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he's perfect in those. I thought he nailed it in Barbie as Ken. He stole the show.
Oh, he totally did.
100%.
I think he was like everybody's favorite.
100%. And this, for those of you out there, this is what Ryan is talking about Ryan Gosling. Where he says that he doesn't take on dark acting roles for the sake of his family. The decision I make for them and Eva, and to make them with our family in mind first. And
I've just like become more and more a fan of him. Like his work, and he just seems like a nice guy.
He does, and I didn't mean to do that. And something else too, that I like about this movie, having him and Emily Blunt as the stars. If you think about it, they're two celebrities that just kind of just kind of do their own thing. They don't talk a lot. They don't talk about politics. They don't get into all that stuff. They just live their life and make movies.
Yeah, for the most part. And I think Emily Blunt even pushed back a little bit like a year ago on the kind of strong female archetype protagonist. She had some comments about that. Even though she's played one or two of those kind of roles before. If you remember Edge of Tomorrow, very much like a strong, competent female character. Once you got past that exterior, there was a lot of vulnerability and stuff like that underneath that. That's an awesome movie. They're supposedly making.
She's trying to get me to watch it for a first watch.
You have to watch Edge of Tomorrow. They're making a sequel.
That's what I told her.
Okay, I'm down. We'll do it.
It's called The Edge of the Day After Tomorrow.
Yes. And you just hit on it. What's so good about like Emily Blunt, I think she's wise enough to see the difference of like that character you brought up. You hit on, she has vulnerabilities. She has weaknesses. It makes her a likable character, unlike what she was addressing of today's strong female character that has no vulnerabilities.
Vulnerability
no weakness.
is attractive, people. It actually is.
It makes it interesting.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say vulnerability is attractive until you find someone who's vulnerable and you're like, oh, never mind, bounce. That's what everybody says. So
Ryan sounds like he's speaking from experience.
That's what makes me laugh.
You never know, yeah.
You never know.
Oh gosh.
It's okay. We've all been there, right?
We have. Let me grab these really quick and then we'll get going on the next thing I wanted to address. Albertus Magnus with the $10 super chat. I remember when corny and cheesy was a criticism. Now it's a compliment. My, how far Hollywood has fallen. It's true.
We're like, give us the cheese.
I'll push back a little bit on that. I think when people are talking about that, it's a little bit like corny at times. It's a movie that's very unserious. If that makes sense. I think that's the best way to. It doesn't take itself seriously. It doesn't want you to take it seriously. It wants you to laugh. It wants you to think some of these things are ridiculous. So I don't know if corny or cheesy is the best descriptor of it. I just feel like taking itself not very seriously. And we've had way too many kind of dark, gritty, emotional deconstructions in Hollywood over the past decade. So whenever you have so much of that thing, people are going to then point out when it's not something like that, when it's lighthearted, when it doesn't take itself so seriously. And I think that's kind of what we have when you're hearing people talk about the movie.
Yes, lighthearted is the word I keep using to describe it. It's very lighthearted. So if you guys want lighthearted, we do recommend
and
Fall
guys,
Guy.
I mean, I love a good drama as much as the next person. I really do. She knows this about me. But there's nothing quite like a good comedy or something that just doesn't take itself seriously sometimes. Like as a whole, those movies, they're just a little better for the soul than the dark, heavy stuff, you know? So
Especially
food
now.
for thought. Yeah, keep that in mind just for your mental health and stuff.
Yeah, especially this year. And Jay has gifted 5 Force of Light Entertainment memberships. Well, Jay, thank you so much. I think you guys have set the record.
Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing.
You guys
It's
know
because of the
what time.
extra minute that Natalie took to do her hair. I think that's probably was the difference.
I see. Right? Do you see why it makes a difference now? It matters.
And the chat, you know what time it is. We're big fans of Rooster on the show.
She is a big fan of Rooster.
Oh, I couldn't tell that happened with the emojis in chat.
And oops, I crapped my pants for $1.99. Ryan, welcome to Force of Light Entertainment.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes. And J.S. Pena has been a member for 5 months. Ryan, a guest on Force of Light Entertainment. Did I wake up in an alternate universe? If not, Ryan, get these 2 on Friday night tights, please.
We'll see. I don't control booking, but you never know. You never know who might show up. J.S. Pena.
It seems that Gina showed up last week.
She did, and at that point, we're like, "Holy cow!" We're really like closing in on that. We got too many women on the stream, you know. So it was. That's why Chrissy had to wait to come in. Actually, she was taking care of the baby and stuff, but.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, Gina, you're punted over the edge.
It's real close.
Getting close, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Let me grab this. I want to get into our kind of first story. There's a picture that went out and around all over social media today that people seem to have a lot of thoughts about. Let me go ahead and get that up on the screen. Here we go. We have official picture of the new Superman in his new suit.
Okay.
And I think DC originally tweeted it out. Like that's because
Okay.
I saw it at first and I thought it was AI, to be honest.
I mean, it could be.
It doesn't look the realest, to be honest.
Yeah, so I just saw it scrolling my Twitter timeline and I'm like, I just assumed it was an AI picture. And then I saw the account that tweeted it was like DC's like official account. And this is the first look we see at Superman. And I said before the stream, a picture says 1,000 words. And I think everyone's trying to figure out what exactly this means for the next Superman movie.
Yeah, because he's just like, you've got this catastrophe in the background. He's like, he's not like using some super speed here. He's just like,
let me adjust my boots.
yeah, just let me take my sweet time, adjust my boots.
It does look like that. I guess to have the best, like most, give it the benefit of the doubt, we'll say
Yeah.
if he was going super speed, you'd never know, right? It could just be
That's
a snapshot, right? He could be hustling. But it certainly does seem like had kind of a crap day at work. I guess I got to go save Metropolis. And, you know, obviously some other things that people are going to point out is the actual suit itself.
Yes. Do you like the suit?
I like elements of the suit. I like the fact that they're bringing the red trunks back. You can kind of see that in there.
Yes, they are back there.
I like the way the boots look. I'm not the biggest fan of the high collared.
It is very high. It is like here.
That is like that high collar. I feel like the first time I saw that was like New 52 era Superman, kind of like 2011, 2012 or whenever they came out with that. Not the biggest fan of that. Overall, I think the suit's fine. It looks a little like crumply or loose almost in a way.
It does. No, it absolutely does. Like through the arms, like through the shoulders and almost to the chest.
Like he got that at the rental shop for a
Yeah, it's like
I'm
that.
kidding. It's not that bad.
He needs to go to the tailor and get the suit worked out.
He needs to go to a Kryptonian tailor and have it taken in a little bit. Yeah,
He
something
does.
like that.
Well, speaking of, let me do this. Let me pull up another picture we got today that was online. Speaking of Superman, to show you how he's trying to fill out the suit.
Oh, okay.
Natalie sees it already.
Michelle, what are you trying to?
Here is our new Superman, and he has gone pretty buff.
Michelle, I thought this was a PG rated program tonight.
I was briefed PG-13. That's what.
That is true. You're right.
You guys briefed me. It was PG-13, yet I still have not had a swear word. And it's been 30 minutes.
Hey, I've noticed that. I didn't mean to. I don't mean to embarrass you, but I'm really proud of you. Not
Thank
one
you.
word so far.
Yeah, exactly.
That's impressive.
I've had to pull back a couple times, but yeah, I mean, listen, he looks buff, he looks swole. This is again, Hollywood has basically a steroid program that they put people on when they're getting in these roles, and that's really not even that much of a secret at this point anymore. I'm sure that's what he's doing. They give you a dietitian, they give you everything you got to do, and then they give you a little extra boost as well.
Yes,
get these guys to transform.
See, I'm glad I have a guy on for this because I sent this to the Toxic Femme chat and no one said, because I said he looks good, but clearly been taking steroids, and no one said anything. But like I know Ryan, you work out and I work out. And it's just and
I work.
She works out some. I try to get her go more, but
I do more Pilates.
But as someone who works out, could he have gotten that big on his own? Maybe naturally, but it would have. Not in 6 months.
Yeah, like 100%. He you can get like results like that by doing it clean and things like that. You can, but does it make sense for these guys to do it? No. Why not? Like, if you got these things available to you, you got these shortcuts available to you. I would do it in a heartbeat to get ready for a role as Superman. Who cares? Like that's kind of how I see it, and I think that's how most people see it as well. And I don't think that if David Corn Sweat is juicing, that it should really make a difference to anybody. Does it make a difference if Chris Hemsworth is juicing? No, all you care about is how his biceps look when he's like grabbing his hammer. Like that's all anybody cares about.
In fact, Ryan, as a girl who grew up loving baseball, I say bring steroids back to baseball, make baseball great again.
Ironically, over the past couple of years, I don't know about the last 2 years, but before that, we had seen record levels of home runs in a steroid-free era. So, but yes, it was fun. My love of baseball started with that 1998 home run chase between Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. As a Cubs fan, like I was 10 years old at the time, so I was really at the age where I could start getting into it and following everything related to baseball. So I'll always remember that summer watching every single Cubs game on WGN and keeping track of the chase.
Oh, I remember that. In fact, because I was definitely what you would call a tomboy. I may or may not have had like Ken-sized dolls of Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa.
She did.
Wow. Now, see, back then we called it a tomboy. Now they try to turn you trans.
Yeah, now
that's
they would
how it
try
works
to
now.
put me on remove parts.
Yeah, they would. You're lucky. Tomboys who grew up 20 years ago are lucky because it would have been much different for you nowadays.
It would have been a tough time.
Michelle, you made it just in the nick of time. You eased your way on through.
I did. Yeah, I made it through. Speaking of sports, since we're on sports, before we move into Star Wars.
Hold on, can I just say she did tell us that she would be girly. She would let us know when she was a kid. I don't know why, but just I guess to let us know that she said, I'll be a girl when I grow up.
I did.
She said, I'll be, I think it was just a girl. You said not even girl.
My mom was like, well, you're a girl now.
I'll be a girl when I grow up. She's like, I'm getting out of my system, Mom. Just let me do it.
But at the time, she didn't even mean it like that. She just meant she didn't like dresses, stuff like that. And then it's like at 13, she blossomed into the beautiful young lady we know now.
There you go.
But yes, I did make it through because today, who knows? But my parents would have been like, "You're a girl,"
and that was when Michael became Michelle, as we know him today.
But there you go. The world thanks your parents for making sure that you turned out the right way. So.
Exactly. And since we're on sports, Natalie, you had an interesting observation that I don't feel hell I've ever heard anyone say about Tom Brady. And I was like, why don't you share that with Ryan since he does a sports channel?
Okay, yeah, Ryan, because you do a sports channel and because you are a male, and I want to preface this by saying that I haven't observed Tom Brady much.
She's never watched him play. We'll just put that one out there.
Okay.
But I feel like I do pick up things on people. I'll put that out there. And so in watching him in this roast, I feel like that there's a bit of femininity, to Tom Brady.
Do you want to explain that further?
It's just something about.
Is it his looks?
It's all of it. It's the way he sits. It's his face. It's when he smiles. It's the sadness in his eyes when he smiles. It's just, there's just something about, he's an interesting character.
So sadness is femininity.
Yeah. Do you know? I feel like,
okay, not that part. That's just him.
I feel like that just, maybe that's because he lost his family. I don't know. It could be lots of things, Natalie.
Well, but he had a choice in the matter, right?
He did.
Oh yeah, and he chose to play football instead of stay with his cheating wife. So I'm on team Tom Brady when it comes to that.
Okay, but to ask you about that, because I don't stay up to date on the sports stuff.
But do you see any femininity in his appearance? I've never heard that one.
Over the last 20 years of watching Tom Brady, there's definitely, and I don't know how much of it is, I don't know if I would call it femininity as much as kind of a little bit more like Hollywood-ish type of thing.
Yes, that's what I see.
We're like, okay, he might wear really skinny pants, or he might that's weird that he's wearing these shoes without socks and you can see his ankles, or whatever, stuff like that. Little things here or there. But overall, I wouldn't call Tom Brady feminine. I would say he's super comfortable with who he is, if that makes sense at this point in his life. So if he sits a little weird, I don't think he really cares, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I would say to me, he's just always been kind of like a Metro guy.
He's always very much cared about his face, and there's been rumors that he got plastic surgery or facial reconstructive surgery at some point in his life, which if you look at it changes between 26 and 27. Yeah, it does. His chin kind of changed a little bit, certainly. But yeah, so I guess I can kind of see that. He cares about how
the more you talk, the more you're talking.
Yeah. Right, Ryan's he got cheek implants, a chin implant.
He's now I think about it, he's had a full face.
Well, that's always been an accusation against Tom Brady, and it happened 15 years ago, right?
So
it was a long time ago, but it was when he kind of made the jump to hyper popular, after those first 3 Super Bowl championships, and he's dating all these actresses and all that stuff. It felt like that was the time where that happened. And then obviously he got his family and started becoming much more focused on his kids and things like that.
Yes.
Well, and he seems like an incredibly sweet father. I'll say that.
Kiss his son full on the mouth. So yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah, he goes full on the mouth.
But you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's just him trying to be sweet and affectionate.
It's a little weird.
And it's different cultures. In Europe, men will greet each other and kiss each other on the lips, like a pop kiss sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of gay. Europe's kind of gay.
I mean, Ryan, I understand. I'm not cool with that with females, let alone men. So, I get it. And TD, to answer your question, I did see her post. I don't really think, to let you guys know what they're talking about, Nina compared it to a shot of a female, and she thought, let me go back to the pic. She thought that this picture was a bit feminine. Let me pull it up. Again, I don't think it's feminine.
Yeah, men got to put their shoes on too. So
I don't think he's sitting super. I mean, it's not like he's.
Oh yeah, I didn't have that thought on.
No. I'd have to disagree with that one. I don't feel it's very feminine at all.
To me, the reason that this picture seems strange to me is I feel like the entire vibe that James Gunn has been putting out is kind of a very hopeful type of Superman, getting back to that type of Superman character. This doesn't seem hopeful to me. This seems actually like a dude who's had a really bad day and it just feels the entire weight of the world on his shoulders and is kind of miserable, but it's his responsibility to go out there and save everybody. So he's well, here we go again. It seems depressing. And I
It
think that's why this
does.
picture is strange.
Like he
to
was in
people.
for the night already, as we are sometimes, we're just in for the night
Yeah.
and he was ready to chill, but he's got to get back out. And I relate to that. I know that's not a good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, I might be pretty upset too if I was getting pulled away from the bed with Lois Lane in there. Okay. Like I
Exactly.
get it. You'd be upset. So
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. And so I will ask, and then we can move on to Star Wars after this. I personally, Ryan, with James Gunn doing it, I really enjoyed the Guardians movies. I think they were a lot of fun. Had a fun little cute romance in it. Always had awesome soundtracks with it. Good humor. I'm actually very, even though I love Henry Cavill, I do. I love, everyone knows that on this channel. I'm actually very excited for this movie, and I'm not really excited over any, I would say any superhero movie, but I do have excitement for this. Are you excited for this or don't care?
I can't say I'm excited for it. I think that James Gunn is great on the right projects. And I think so far what we've seen that to be when it comes to these superhero movies, both with this and the Suicide Squad, it's really these kind of outcast, quirky characters that you can all get together with these very comedy-laden, jokey movies that don't take themselves seriously. And it's also characters that people don't really care about in the grand scheme of things. So if he does whatever he wants with them, and you don't have a bunch of people up in arms. This is the superhero. This is Superman.
Yes.
And nothing I've ever seen from James Gunn's repertoire, like his I came very close. Very, very close.
He caught it.
I caught it from his entire catalog that makes me feel like, yeah, he's the guy for a Superman movie. Does that mean he can't do it? No, absolutely not. But I'm not excited for it yet. We've been let down too many times, especially by DC.
I understand that. I do understand. I've really appreciated in today's day and age when you go look at his casting, the way he is like the first person to be pretty dang accurate across the board, which I appreciate.
Yes.
So
I love that Lois looks like Lois Lane. I love that Lex Luthor looks like Lex Luthor, and that Nicholas Hoult shaved his head for it. I think that's awesome.
Yes, I have loved the casting for this movie.
It looks good.
Yes, and then I think too, again, my prediction is this movie will actually bring in some female audience because you have the Lois Lane element, and it's there's a romance there's a romance aspect to Superman, which we ladies like. We enjoy that.
We do.
So I'm excited for it. We'll see. But like you said, it's kind of with everything. There's been a lot of disappointments.
Yeah.
Speaking of DC, I want your opinion because we as women like it, and there's starting to be a theme, and then we will move on to Star Wars. There's starting to be a theme. All the girls in Toxic Film are excited about the new Joker, but none of the men I've talked about seem to be excited. Where are you with Joker?
Well, I think it's in general because men are smart. But no. Obviously, the musical aspect of it is going to turn some guys off.
Yes,
it's not going to turn me off. Like I don't care. I like musicals as long as they're well done. The thing that I'm hesitant about, and I like the trailer. I thought the trailer was fine. I don't think there should have been a second movie. To me, there never should have been one. They never intended for there to be one. The ending is the way it is supposed to be and leave you with the mystery of what happens after this. And I thought it was perfect. Joker was so great.
It was.
But it made so much money, they couldn't help but find a reason to make another one.
Right, true.
I think Lady Gaga is a fine actress. Obviously, she was in what's the one with Bradley Cooper, Star is Born.
Yes.
I don't think a lot of men have seen that movie. So maybe they just see Lady Gaga as the musician or an activist or whatever, and they've never seen her act before. To me, it feels like they're going to, the first movie was, a lot of it was in Joker's head. In this one, I think a lot of it is going to be in Harley's head.
Yes, that's what I've been saying.
And so she's like imagining this life with him and like all of these things and trying to convince him to have that life almost. So I think the reason a lot of people are hesitant is because they don't feel like there should have been another one more so than anything else.
Yeah.
And obviously the musical element, immediately going to turn some guys off. I don't know why. Did like these men out there, did your mom not make you watch Sound of Music? Like, come on, why are you so against musicals? Nothing wrong with them.
I agree.
Well, listen, like musicals, and I think if more men, like I don't mean to tell on our brother here, but it's like he was like, you know, on the football team, the basketball team, the baseball team, like the man basically. And it's
big guy.
Big guy. You know, I'd walk by his room and he's playing Phantom of the Opera. Sometimes, you know, I mean, it happened. Like, because those are bangers.
Yeah. I agree. And
they're great.
Well, like gosh, it feels like not that long ago, but it was Les Mis with Russell Crowe and Anne Hathaway and Hugh Jackman. You guys mentioned Greatest Showman, I think.
Yes.
Oh my
gosh,
I love it.
Another Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya. But yeah, I'm not going to sit down and watch every single movie. I don't want to be a musical for sure.
Same.
But yeah.
Grease, come on. Did we not all love Grease back in the day growing up? Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys, it's just music in a movie. That's
I totally agree.
I was actually talking about Sound of Music the other day, and I'm like, there's one, watching it as a child, you don't really understand like the Nazi element. Like you really don't get it. It's like, wow, it's really weird that they really don't like these singers or something. that these singers have to run across the mountains, right? Escape through the Alps. Why do they hate this family? They're just trying to bring music to the world. And you're like, oh, okay. And then another thing that is maybe not aged so great in our current society of freaking out over like relationship gaps or age of consent. It's like, I am 16 going on 17. You're like, okay, maybe that one doesn't age super well. Maybe it doesn't age super well in today's environment, but yeah.
Man, it's been so long since I've watched
I know, that's
that
what
one.
I was just thinking. It's been so, I need to watch it as an adult. I mean, it's been several years or so long, but yeah, I would love to watch it now and just see, like you said, all the little things you pick up on that you're like, wow, that's actually a lot more intense than I realized at the time when I was watching it as a kid.
Yes, I definitely need to. And speaking of age issues, Ryan.
Uh-oh.
Are we going to talk about Phantom Menace?
Yep.
Yes. Great segue.
That is a good segue. So Phantom Menace celebrated its 25th anniversary, and it made 15 million worldwide, putting it back in the top 50 of highest grossing films of all time.
Nice.
Ryan, did you get a chance to go see it this weekend?
I didn't. I had a very full weekend. Just had some stuff going on. So I had originally kind of planned to, but I was never able to get around to it. I did watch over the weekend. I watched Star Wars, the original Star Wars, and I watched Attack of the Clones, but I did not watch Phantom Menace this weekend. I did watch it about 3 or 4 weeks ago, though. And
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're okay. Well, the one thing that stands out to me is how beautiful the film actually is, and how insanely well the effects hold up from something that was that's 25 years old. That like the effects in it, for the most part, look better than the stuff they're putting out today.
Yes, and so much of it, I believe, because I watched that. I took her daughter Izzy and I went and saw it on the big screen Saturday night. And then I didn't finish it, but I watched the first half of Attack of the Clones last night. And I would say Phantom looks better than Attack of the Clones because he used so much practical still.
Mm-hmm.
And the practical effects mixed in with some CGI do really hold up very well, actually.
Yeah, it was like right at that point where you had to do a good mix of, actual real sets, real locations. Attack of the Clones was kind of a halfway point.
Yes.
And then when it came to Revenge of the Sith, almost everything was digital.
Yes.
But it still looked amazing. Revenge of the Sith, considering what they did and the technology they were dealing with and how groundbreaking that was, it looks amazing. When you just look at the scope of the sets and things that are all fake, it's pretty incredible.
Yes. No, it definitely does.
Like the fight with Darth Maul.
Oh, well, that's in this one. Yes.
Right.
That's so Izzy,
I mean, it's a pretty good fight, don't you think?
It is. So this movie gets
I'm not even a big fight fan, but it kind of sticks out in my memory.
It's one of my favorites. This movie gets so much crap And watching on the big screen, again, was there. So again, you have a 16-year-old girl perspective that this is her first time getting to see it on a big screen. She's seen it at home. Both of us walked out and we were like, we give that movie a B+. Like, it's a solid B+ movie. Like, I don't think it's quite as bad as some of the hate that it's gotten, actually.
I think a lot of, again, I come at it from a perspective of somebody who, I was 11 years old when this thing came out, right? So for me, it was the first Star Wars movie that I can remember watching in theaters. I don't think I went to see the re-releases in theaters in '97. I don't remember that, but I remember watching the original trilogy. I remember having the VHS set, at my dad's house. We'd watch it all the time. But I don't specifically have memories in '97 of going to see the re-release. But this is the first time I very much remember the hype, the excitement, the Pepsi cans with the different characters on them. If you guys remember that, I used to collect all those. I was so ready for it. And, I was blown away by it. Are there things you'd be like, yeah, I get why people didn't want to see Anakin this young.
Yes.
I get that you maybe didn't like the acting from a young character. I get maybe you didn't like Jar Jar Binks too much, but I think a lot of it for old fans, it was just they had a different story in their head of what they thought it would be potentially. And for me, I really enjoy Phantom Menace. Are there things that maybe even now, 25 years later, George would have done differently or told a different way? Probably. But overall, I really like it. I think it's a great start. I think it's very important, the political aspect of everything, because at the end of the day, you're showing how a galactic republic fell to its knees and was taken over by a tyrannical emperor who ruled with an iron fist. Like, that is such a big part of Star Wars. So you have to set the groundwork for that. You can't just have that be random. You have to set the groundwork for the political intrigue. And I think Phantom Menace did that.
Definitely. Yeah. And watching it again on a big screen, you have to get it. I do love in this movie, even if for those who don't like Phantom as much, when at the end of the movie, the doors open, Darth Maul's standing there, and that incredible John Williams score comes on.
Duel of the Fates.
Yes. I mean, good gosh. Like it's
part of it's the music.
It's heck sure. Yeah. And then I leaned over to Izzy during the final part of the final battle of Phantom. And I said, do you see Stranger Things took their formula? I said, you've got 3 fights going on at one time and they're bouncing around between these 3 fights. And she's like, yes, it's there. But I love when they can do that, whether it's Stranger Things, Star Wars, when you can vary.
It keeps it stimulating.
It does, when you can keep bouncing around between 3 storylines in a way that flows.
And you actually have 4, because you have the Queen, right? You have Amidala trying to get to the throne room. You have the Jedi who then get detoured to take on Darth Maul in the reactor room. Then you have the Gungans, and then you have Anakin that flies up into space. So you are really balancing these things into, again, it's great storytelling. It makes for great film when you have all of the emotions like leading up to these specific spots all along, and the music does such a great job of helping that along the way. Until you come to this resolution. And some people succeed, some people don't. As Qui-Gon dies in Obi-Wan's arms, not knowing that, all these years later, it's just a lightsaber stab to the gut. Who cares? People shake that off all the time.
People are like, I'm good. Just walk it off, buddy. Just put him in the bath to take. He's fine.
Exactly.
Yes, no, it's ridiculous. So I will ask, well, first let me say this, then I'll ask the next question. So speaking of the age gap between Anakin, the one thing I wish he just would have cast Hayden Christensen as like a 13-year-old kid and just gone with it. Like, just had the one actor all the way through.
He probably wasn't on his radar yet, maybe.
He probably wasn't, but he wasn't looking for a 13-year-old kid either.
Oh, right. He was looking for like a 7-year-old.
Yeah, he was looking for 8 or 9-year-old. Yeah, he's supposed to be 9, I think, in Phantom Menace. Yeah.
So then I have to say, I'm sitting there with Iz, again, 16-year-old, and she said something about the age difference, and I go, well, I don't think Padme's like into him yet. And in a deep low, like her voice, she just goes, well, I would assume not. It's just like, ew.
Yeah.
Like, my mind didn't go there.
Because she is supposed to be,
I think
14
she's only,
or 15. She's very young. She's very young.
She is. That's why I told her, I said, I think she's only supposed to be 13 years old in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just for the record, the people in Naboo are insane. Like, why are you like electing a queen at 13 years old? That's how old Padme is when she gets elected queen. Like, how stupid are these people? Like, why are the Gungans looked at like the dumb members of that planet? Like, they are clearly smarter than the people that would elect a 13-year-old woman to be their ruler. Just saying.
It is pretty stupid.
Like at least give her a few years.
Like, and the kicker in this, it would almost like you would almost get it if it was a case like in England, like she was just the next in line and the dad or mom died or whatever. But like they voted this in.
Yeah, like it is voted. Nayberry was her last name, Padme Nayberry, and yeah, they actually go through that in. I mean, it's not canon anymore because of Disney, but in the Plagueis novel, they go into detail about how Padme gets elected and how Palpatine was involved in it and things like this. So you get a little more backstory on that in the Plagueis novel.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Hey, do you remember in Indiana Jones?
Which one?
The one where the kid, but he's
Temple of Doom.
He's made to be the king, and he's just awful.
Hold on, what are you talking about?
Remember, but he's a kid and he's the king and he's very evil.
Yes.
And
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom. Okay, so not to get sidetracked there.
I thought you were talking about Short Round for a second, and I'm like, when was he a king? I know what you mean now.
Short Round is amazing.
The Indian kid. Yes.
He was very power hungry. I don't know why I thought about that, but let's
we're talking about kids. Last question I'll ask is we're on
young kings and queens.
I thought you were talking about Raiders when Marion's like, I was a child talking to Indy and like thinking how that would be taken nowadays if that was in dialogue. But yeah. Also, by the way, in Indiana Jones, like, the scene where in Raiders where he comes like to the door in a robe or something like that.
Yes.
He just got done sleeping with a student. Like there's a deleted scene of that, and it's actually in the novelization, I believe. But,
Indy.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, the thing is, that's happened like forever.
Yeah.
And it'll probably still, happen forever.
That's true.
It is what it is. I mean, people should make good choices, but I'm just saying
it has happened.
We didn't invent the world.
Yeah.
It has happened. I will ask, since we're on this, I told Izzy watching it, I told her who mine is. Who is your favorite Jedi?
Well, mine in terms of like ones that we've seen on screen, I love Anakin. I also love Obi-Wan. Like those two are like my favorites that I've ever seen on screen in the prequels, undoubtedly. For me, some of my favorite other characters that appear in the Star Wars expanded universe, like Jedi that I really love, Kyle Katarn, Jason Solo, Corran Horn, Kip Duran, characters like that probably nobody's ever heard of. But for me, those are like some of my favorites from the books.
I've only sadly heard of a few of these characters that you named. I might need to listen to some.
Should.
But I'd have to say, I told Iz, Obi-Wan is always my favorite. He's just so smooth with a lightsaber.
I think he's so inspiring from the inside. It's just like who he is as a person is inspiring. And it's like, oh, I want to be like that.
But then he's dang good with a lightsaber. Like he is. He's just smooth. He's like the Seth Curry of the Jedi fighting game. You know?
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. He's got that swagger.
Yes, like he's got the swagger, and like Seth is what I would call a finesse player. Like that's like Obi-Wan's finesse. Like Anakin can do it.
The 3 C's. He's always like calm, cool, and confident.
Yes.
So Obi-Wan is a master of Form 2 Sarisu lightsaber combat, which is like defensive, a fairly defensive form. But it's one of the things that allows him to survive against Grievous and things like this. But yeah, he is a little bit. He doesn't do well against Dooku. Right? Does not do well against Dooku in general. Dooku kind of owns him over and over again. But I love Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan's story and the sad tragedy of the fall of Anakin and how that affects Obi-Wan. That's why the Kenobi series is it was so bad. It was such a terrible mess up, a screw up. Because what it should have been, it's very simple what you should have done. It's a story about Obi-Wan out in the outskirts of the desert, forced to interact with society a little bit to survive and get supplies and things like that. It should be him resisting his internal nature to help people, to try to stay, undercover, but eventually having to get involved in something because a couple innocent people are dying or whatnot. But really him just dealing with the trauma of his failures, how he feels like he failed as a Jedi, he failed as a father, he failed as a brother, all these things about Anakin and the guilt he feels over it.
Yes, definitely.
And one thing that really gets overlooked as well, that they don't lay out a ton. If you read the Revenge of the Sith novelization, you know it. Some other literature, you can find it too. But Obi-Wan knew what was going on between Anakin and Padme.
Yes.
He knew, and he kind of decided to not, destroy Anakin's world, destroy Padme's world, and be like, he's lost a lot. He needs this in his life. He needs to feel that, blah, blah, blah. He knew it. And, so he feels a lot of guilt for letting that go on and inevitably kind of destroying Anakin.
Yeah. I love Obi.
Well,
so
it's that kind of like character complexity
that's good.
that makes it good. I mean,
Mhm.
really, yeah, because it gives something it's like people can identify with or even see themselves in, and it's just like that. It is that's why it's important, character stuff, not just to be action and things like that, but really the heart of the person.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan. Do you have time for us to watch the Acolyte trailer? I've not watched this.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, let's watch this trailer. And guys, for those of you who wonder why I've not watched it, I just haven't really cared to watch it. And I was like, hey, we can watch it on Monday. So let's go ahead and grab this. Is the new one. This is the new one. 1 second. Let me get this going.
You guys really need to use dark mode, by the way. Like
How
that
do you
is how to use dark mode. I'll teach you after the stream on Twitter and on YouTube. You need dark mode.
Okay.
So that you don't have that bright white light surrounding everything.
I use
show you.
dark mode.
Yes, I do that on my phone.
I use dark mode on my phone, but I don't know how to use it on my computer. So you'll have to let me know. But
I'll show you.
have you watched this, Ryan?
I have. Yes, I
Okay.
have.
Okay, so let's see this. Leslie Headland's The Acolyte.
Last night, a Jedi was murdered.
Oh,
From the studio that brought you all
The
those
Jedi.
things. Oh my gosh.
like that's supposed to be impressive.
the only good one was the first one, and they ruined that with Gina. But let's continue.
Justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. But that peace is a lie.
Jedi are
That
being
looked kind of
hunted.
slow and weird.
Yeah, they just don't know how to do fights.
She was my student. I trained her. Let me be the one to bring her in.
Okay,
That's the guy from Squid Game.
that looked very. What was the movie that was famous years ago?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Yes.
Dragon.
Yes.
I sense this is only a small part of a larger plan. Some sort of shift to tip the scales.
Oh, we've gone back to The Last Jedi, the most famous, beloved Disney Star Wars movie ever. We're on Act 2.
I didn't even think about this scene like that. Yeah.
Yep, we're on Act 2.
It's time to face the past.
No one. Not a one.
Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force. If you want to pull the thread and change everything, then pull it.
What are you?
Wow.
She
Okay.
said, "I am a Jedi."
So that was
Ninja.
like basically like a Kylo Ren wannabe, I guess at the end.
Maybe he's the original Ren, right? Maybe we're gonna find out about the
Yes.
Knights of Ren. Although they already did a comic book about that. But
Okay.
yeah, it is a weird kind of like teeth in his helmet vibe, very, very scared, or maybe a they, them, who knows at this point.
It's a baby.
One of the things that stands out to me is the couple opening lines where they talk about the Jedi guardians of peace, but that peace is a lie. In the Sith code, which got embedded in the expanded universe, one of the lines is peace is a lie, there's only passion. So the fact that he said that peace is a lie brings me back to that a little bit. We know they're bastardizing a ton of old lore for this show, just like they have throughout the last 12 years of Star Wars, after throwing something away and digging out little pieces of the corpse, like a vulture on a carcass. But yeah, I'm not excited for it. That video's ratioed right now.
Yes, I've seen that it's been yeah. I don't think that's gonna bring us all back. I think they might just want to re-release Phantom Menace for another weekend.
Well, that was the thing. Afterwards, did you stay when you watched it to see the sneak peek?
That's right. I meant to say that. No one stayed. No one stayed. The whole theater left because there was a sneak peek at the end.
Man.
And they even advertised stay seated, like, because there's going to be a sneak peek.
Why didn't you stay then?
I didn't even think about it. The Phantom Menace was over, and it was like everyone else was leaving. It's like, let's go.
That's what I think I heard Matt Rissman on Echo Base Network talk about the same thing, where he said he was one of like 3 people in the theater that stayed to watch the special Acolyte teaser that they showed at the end. But it was after like all the credits, like 15 minutes of credits. They turned the lights on and then they played the Acolyte thing. But I don't think anybody stayed for it.
No.
They really want to tie people to it and tell you, hey, this is the prequel to the Phantom Menace. You have to watch this.
Yes, and that's here's the thing too. Are they going to mess up the Phantom Menace lore because Yoda, who would be alive during this time, I guess, Yoda is very, they're baffled at the fact that, oh, there's a Sith? How could that be? So how are you going to have a Sith in the show?
Well, like the simple explanation would be, hey, anybody that discovers that if anybody even discovers that the Sith are behind it, if anybody actually discovers that, they can't live to tell the tale, that would be one way that you could do it. You could have them justify, because Sith aren't the only dark side users, right? You have Jedi that just kind of go bad, that just go to the dark side. Aren't necessarily Sith, but just kind of give into those temptations. You have dark Jedi and things like that. So you can justify things that way. But I'm sure I'm just like running defense for them and saying the ways that they could do it, that they're of course going to screw everything up. Like that's almost a given. We know that's going to happen.
It's just going to be a Sith. They're like, they'll worry about it later. Yeah, I'm not. I don't even know if I will. Are you planning on even seeing what it's like? I don't even know if I care, to be honest.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it just to shit
Friday
all
Night
over it.
Times.
Yeah, like we're gonna watch it and see. Listen, maybe it'll be a banger. Maybe a Star Wars movie by a gay activist, Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, who really wants to make this about her queer identity. And Kill Bill meets Frozen. Maybe all of this will somehow come together and it'll be amazing. I don't think it will be, but I'll be honest about it.
A woman who said she's so identified with what's her name, with Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
I see the resemblance. Makes sense. Their jaws are very similar. Ironically, Leslie Headland looks very much like Ursula, who's supposedly supposed to be some drag queen representation. So yeah, makes sense.
Oh gosh, but yeah. So that's the state of Star Wars now. Star Wars fans aren't even that excited.
Surprised?
But we were excited. I mean, 15 million, that's pretty good for like really no advertisement and just throwing a 25-year-old movie in the theater.
Yeah, I think, crazy enough, I think the special edition re-release of A New Hope in 97 made like $37 million or something.
Wow.
Like that tells you like how much crazy demand there was to watch that movie again back then.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe if they had done a little bit more promotion surrounding this, or maybe if they had done it close to the actual anniversary instead of just for May the 4th, maybe they could have generated something like that. I'm not a big May the 4th person.
Yeah.
Like May the 4th is any day you want to take to celebrate Star Wars, watch Star Wars, your favorite, whatever. That's awesome. More power to you. But it really kind of became a meme that became a commercial opportunity. Like
100%.
the day May the 4th has no meaning to anyone if you're a Star Wars fan, other than it's a way for them to get you to buy merchandise. May 25th to me has always been Star Wars Day. It was Star Wars Day. I think like the city of Los Angeles in like the 80s declared it's Star Wars Day because that's the day that Star Wars was released in theaters, May 25th, 1977. So to me, that is really a meaningful day, as opposed to May the 4th was kind of just a meme.
I agree. Well, I'll have to celebrate on the 25th.
There you go.
And Ryan, if you have time, I'm going to grab these super chats, or if not,
Let's
let
do
me
it.
know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
Let me see where we picked off. I think J.S. Penny was the last one. And your average Patriot nerd has been a member for 12 months. I will see The Fall Guy and probably enjoy it. Though I heard it departs quite a bit from the show, which I liked. I just wish Hollywood would stop borrowing older titles.
I saw that in our comments of our review. I didn't realize it was based, or I don't know that it's based on a show, but that there was a show.
Yes.
Like, of a similar.
Yeah, like I had no idea it was a show either until a bunch of like old people were like, I remember that show. Like Gary's like, I remember that show. Like I had no idea.
Okay, yeah. So guys, do know that all three of us here have not watched the show, so we're not basing our feelings on the movie from the television show.
We're not old people, all right? We didn't see it.
Exactly.
This proves it right now. We didn't know what that was.
I like it. And Brett, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Have either of you seen What's Your Number with Chris Evans and Anna Faris? It's one of my favorite raunchy romantic comedies of all time. I've not even heard of it.
I haven't heard of it either, but I enjoy Anna Faris's comedy. Definitely, it's some of the stuff she's been on.
That's how you know Chris Evans is a good actor. He can successfully convince people he's interested in women. So.
Oh, sure. So you're not buying his marriage then, Ryan?
Nah, not really. It's not. It's something about it doesn't vibe.
His radar's going off. And Albertus Magnus with the $5 super chat. That picture of Superman suggests that he's leaving money on the dresser. That's a good way of putting it.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yes, thank you so much. And Rizzler with the $4.99 mic drop. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And Chris with the $2 super chat. My wife is impressed by Ryan's language restraint.
As the lady should be. Yeah, we're all proud.
Everyone just give a clap.
Everybody,
for Ryan.
let's just give a round of applause.
I did it. I came very close, and
You did the whole show.
I went very close, and I like sucked it back in before it could actually like, sneak out.
He saw it slipping, and he caught it, and he brought it back.
So impressed.
And Rizzler with the $1.99, Natalie for Prez 2020.
I like it.
You know, she can form functioning, like coherent sentences together. That's more than either the president or the vice president can currently do. So.
That's true. You're the woman for the job.
And Jay with the $5 super chat. I don't watch musicals because I burned out on singing scenes from the older Disney movies. It can happen. It can happen.
It happens.
What's that mean? Like all those animated, they're all musicals. Like
they are.
Those stuff, the stuff in the 80s and 90s, the Disney movies that we grew up with, they're all musicals.
Ryan, what's your favorite Disney movie, like the princess movies? Did you watch any as a kid?
Well, I wasn't a big princess movie fan, but I think probably Aladdin. I think Aladdin was my favorite Disney movie.
That's a princess.
Yeah, like I really liked Aladdin. I really liked Lion King. Those were kind of my two favorites back in the day.
Those are goodies.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
And Brett with the
don't ask about how old Jasmine is in that movie, by the way.
She's 12.
Yeah. It's a Muslim country, so you know.
You're like anything goes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You're just basically getting like auctioned off. That's kind of what was happening.
Hey, but the kids on Ivy League campuses are going to go fight for their rights to do that.
Oh my god.
That's right. Fight for the rights to get thrown off a 2-story building. Yeah.
Yeah. And Brett
messed up when you think about it.
It really is. Brett with the $5 super chat. What's your favorite musical? Mine are Crybaby, Singing in the Rain, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. What is my favorite musical?
You guys, not you guys, Michelle, we need to watch Crybaby because I realize I've never seen that, but I know it's a Johnny Depp movie. I've never seen Singing in the Rain either, but the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I've never seen either.
No.
The Rock.
Ryan, have you seen any of those?
I've seen Singing in the Rain. I've seen parts of Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't think I've seen Crybaby though. But for me, I guess my favorites would be it's tough to not say put Grease up there.
Grease is really
so
good.
good.
Sound of Music, it's hard for me to not, even though that's so old, but to me it's an absolute classic.
I need to watch that.
Well,
again.
I still listen to this song sometimes. I mean, that definitely stood the test of time.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to go watch that movie. But Grease is definitely up there. Grease is a dang good musical. If we're talking like original musicals that like were just a Broadway play that they made.
And I have such a crush on John Travolta. And
Who
Grease.
did it?
Oh
Who
my
did
goodness!
I didn't. No.
Well, straight men did it.
Well, there was Sandy.
Yeah, you had Sandy.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing beats that final song at the end, right? When they're both like ready to give up what they think, be the person the other person thinks they want to be. Like,
Yes,
you're the
on.
one.
I'm not going to sing it. Yeah, I'm not going to sing it, even though I kind of want to, but I'm not going to sing it.
I like it. The restraint again is amazing.
Yeah.
And Albertus Magnus with the $5. Thank you again. The Star Wars prequels are a thinly veiled retelling of the rise of Caesar, an accurate retelling. That's it. I've
Very interesting.
really
Thank
thought
you
of
for
it
the
that way.
super chat.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I
I see the prequels as a Shakespearean tragedy
Yes.
in a galaxy far, far away. Like that's to me, that's really what they were trying to emulate and go for.
Yes, I agree. And Anakin Skywalker is a whiny little for $1.99. What can I say? Or what can I say? I like older women. He definitely did. He liked his women on the older side.
Not that much older. I mean,
No.
he's like 14 or whatever in Phantom Menace, so 5 years older. That's not that big of a gap.
It wouldn't have been.
No.
It wouldn't have been weird had they not met at 9 and like 13.
It's just at those younger ages that make.
But they didn't. But it would feel weird if in that 10 years between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, if they had like known each other, or like been pen
Yes.
pals, or like hanging out, like whatever. But they weren't. It was just, hey, like next time I meet, we're all grown up, and it's like
Yes.
we're ready to rumble. That's basically how
It
it
is.
was.
But doesn't it kill you? Doesn't it personally
Ready to
kill?
rumble, I like that.
Doesn't it personally kill you on the inside when she says to Anakin, she's like, "You'll always be that little boy on Tatooine."
You can just like feel Anakin like.
Yeah, he's just like it killed him.
He's like, you've grown up so much, so have you grown more beautiful. I mean, for a senator, I mean, like, oh Annie, you'll always be that little boy I met on Tatooine.
Oh man,
Womp womp.
it was
And-
crushing.
And you still in Attack of the Clones, you have that like great fake out where the whole sand scene, it's coarse and rough,
Epic.
but not like here. It's smooth, and soft, and they kiss, and it's like da 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 da. It's like you get the like romantic, the swelling of the music, and they're kissing,
Yes.
and then she pulls away, and he just goes, "Ooh," and it's like,
I know. And he goes, "I'm sorry." Like you're like, dang, like you
yeah,
kinda feel
I'm
bad.
sorry. And this is Padme's fault too, because she's like,
Yeah.
clearly this guy's into me, he's wanting to kiss me. Like the very next scene, she's just like in the tightest possible dress you could imagine, hanging out with him at night with a fire going. Like every time she breathes, you can tell like Anakin's being tempted.
She was definitely into him. It was that's why she kissed him, and then she's like, "I can't do it." But yeah, but you
The
do feel bad.
temptation was just too much.
It
for
was
her
too much for her.
with
She
young
wanted
Annie.
she wanted the little boy from Tatooine.
Blame the Jedi. The Jedi are like, hey, you know what would be a good idea? Send these two who are like 19 and 23 or whatever at this point, clearly want each other. Let's send them on a mission alone together. Like, how stupid are the Jedi?
I mean, they could have set
Like they didn't exactly set him up for success.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
They could have
Yeah.
sent like a less attractive Jedi to help.
Caddy Mundi, right? Caddy Mundi could have gone. Now, Caddy Mundi actually he gets more action than any Jedi because his race, there's like very few males of his race. So he got allowed to like take some wives and procreate because of his species. So that's a different story though. I think Yoda wanted it to happen because I think Yoda was all down with that. I think Yoda had an affair with Yaddle. That's where Grogu came from. And then I think Yoda had Yaddle killed when she came looking for child support. That's my headcanon.
That Conspiracy runs deep on this one. I like it.
That's fun. You never know. You never know. But they definitely
He had some baby mama drama going on.
but they definitely set him up for failure if he wasn't supposed to date anyone. And Albertus Magnus, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Lucasfilm purged itself of storytelling and replaced them with vanity writers. Yeah, they definitely don't
That's
have
a good point. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you so much. They definitely do not have good writers. And is this, I always confuse, is this the euro or pound?
That's a pound.
Okay. Thank you so much, Golden Nuggets, with the
Thank you.
2 pounds. Ask him about his gay following.
Interesting.
Mine?
Yes,
I-
do you have a gay following?
I don't know if I actually do, but when I do my live streams, there seems like a strange amount of gay dudes who come in there to chat. I don't know why. But yes,
It's the hair, Ryan.
it might be the hair. I don't know. So
Well,
I don't know if
I
that's a
mean,
good thing.
They know a good-looking guy when they see one, you know?
Maybe that's the case. I'm not offended. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
if you're a dude and you think I'm hot, I appreciate the compliment. I'm not into you, but it is what it is. So yes, there might be some gay people that watch the channel. I don't know why, but they do.
Well, they're a fan.
I'm
But
just
hey,
eye candy.
Everybody's welcome, right? Totally.
They are a fan.
The more the merrier.
well,
Maybe
Ryan,
there's some lesbians that watch this channel.
there may be, and they're welcome to.
They're totally welcome. Totally.
It's all for Natalie's hair and dancing.
It's the hair and dancing that they stay for.
Well, Ryan, I've already kept you 21 minutes over what I said. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Yes, this has been fun.
Yes,
I had a good
we've al-
time. Yeah.
We've always been able to chat kind of behind the scenes, so it's so much fun getting to have you on. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anytime you guys want me, just let me know.
And you
Hey,
went the whole time.
the whole time.
You
Not
kept
swearing.
you kept it PG even. Not
I
even
did.
We didn't even go to the 13.
It's true. I just listen. I didn't want to hurt your channel. I wanted to respect you guys. So I'm like, I will do my best. I don't always whenever I go on other channels like that where they don't swear or whatever. I do my best. I don't always succeed. More often than not, I do though. So I'm glad today was a success.
It was. And Ryan, since you're on and you're on in the month of May, I'm going to go ahead because we've got, let's see, we've got Memorial Day at the end. Well, not that that's really for you because you didn't die in battle, but I like to give shout outs to those who have served. We appreciate, of course, you serving in the military and all of you men out there, men and women who have served in our military. We really appreciate you guys.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. And, I did 11 years in the United States Navy. Certainly was some really good things came from that, some challenges as well, but I'll always be grateful. I'm always grateful to the people that say thank you for your service. They did pay me and they gave me some great opportunities and things like that, but it always means a lot when people come and say something like that to you. So a lot of people, I couldn't imagine serving right now, like with the current stuff going on, the things that are being pushed right now with the administration and in the military. So a lot of people that are serving right now need all the support they can get.
That's very, very true.
Absolutely.
But yes, thank you again so much, Ryan, for coming on. And definitely, for whatever reason, if you guys are not subscribed to one
if
of
you're not
Ryan's
somehow,
right, he is one of the busiest guys on YouTube. He's got RK Outpost and he's got Sports Wars to go subscribe
he's
to.
a distinguished gentleman.
He definitely is. So definitely go subscribe to Ryan.
I don't know about that, but
Definitely do that if you haven't. And for those of you guys out there, we will be talking the Met Gala next week. We'll go through who wore the best and who looked the worst.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
And also be on the lookout tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. We are releasing the most requested first-time watching reaction we've ever received. Is coming out, and that is The Life of Brian, Monty Python, and The Life of Brian.
Believe it or not, it is the most requested. Definitely,
It is.
We've got it. Been asked so many.
have you ever
times.
done Holy Grail? Monty
Yes,
Python Holy Grail? Yeah.
That
That's
is
a
our
good one.
most viewed reaction of all time.
Okay, yeah. That's a great one. The coconuts,
It's
from
so
the
good.
very beginning, like the coconuts is the horses, the arguing with, it is fantastic.
Like from the beginning, I think it's just so you're like, what the heck? And then you realize it's just kind of like they're just going with it. And there's just so many bits going on, and it's just you realize you're not to take anything seriously. And it's kind of a comedy masterpiece.
If you ever check out, Ryan, our first time watching reaction, the camera is shaking when the rabbit when the rabbit comes out.
I don't think I could watch the screen for a minute because I couldn't see. I was laughing so hard.
Like I'm pretty
it's
sure
so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous, and
they have to get the holy hand grenade to like take care of it. Like the best part about the movie is that the random historian who gets his throat slashed, like surprisingly halfway through the movie, they arrest them for the death of that guy, and that's how the movie ends. Like what the heck? Yeah,
it's good. So definitely, guys, be on the lookout for that. And then also Thursday we will have our first time watching reaction of James Cameron's The Abyss.
Yes.
So definitely check that out as well. But you guys have been awesome.
I'm Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, San Diego.
And thanks for stopping by.
But mainly, stay classy.
You guys have an awesome rest of your week, and we will catch you Monday. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right, bye, guys.